Hello, everybody. Jen Green here from Property House. You see, sort of sitting next to me visually is Jason Lund of 920 Home Buyers out of Northeastern Wisconsin. We're going to be talking about how to have your business be successful in 2021. I wanted to bring Jason on because we're in some of the same coaching groups, and he's just been really awesome about saying, how can I help you? How can I help you be successful in 2021? And I really thought this would be a good opportunity to bring him on, have him kind of talk to the masses about some of the awesome things that he has done in 2020, and then also continue that momentum into 2021. And so if this is your first time joining us, welcome. Thank you. Like I said, I am Jen Green. I'm from Property House Partners. We're located in the Twin Cities Metro in Minnesota. And we help out folks who need to sell homes quickly for whatever reason, whether it's a divorce, a separation, a inherited home, a foreclosure, tax forfeitures, any of those situations where people are looking for a cash sale or a term sale and they just need to get out from underneath their house, we are there to help. I know Jason does the same type of work, of course, but he is obviously in a different location. But Jason has, gosh, I don't know, probably 10 years on me or so that you've been doing this, right, Jason?
This will be our 11th year in business.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't have that many on me, but still, right? A lot more experience. Yeah. And he's been around a long time. And like I said, I really look up to him also too as a mentor. And I think that just his leadership style, I think, is really beneficial. And so I can see all you guys on Facebook. If you have questions throughout this interview that we do and this discussion that we have, please feel free to ask them. You can get your questions answered live. If you're not able to watch us live, put your questions in the comments. Jason is tagged on this. And so if there's something that you need answered, he can answer it or I can answer it. And we can get you those answers that you need. All right. Mm-hmm. So welcome, Jason. Thanks for coming back. We had you on last time and we were talking about the seller appointment. And so we had some really awesome views on that and some great questions. So I really wanted to bring you back and obviously have this discussion now for keeping us, being successful in 2021.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about, because I know for, 2020 was for some folks, like it was a fantastic year and they had more growth than they've ever seen before. And then for others, to use the proverbial dumpster fire, that's what everybody kind of called it. What was it that kept your momentum going in 2020 for you?
I think the biggest thing was not really paying attention to everything else that was going on around us. And it was, you know what, we're still in business. We still have to get up every single day and we have to do what we got to do. There's a lot of people out there that still need our help. So it was just a constant reminder of that, not looking at things and saying, hey, there's everything is shut down and, oh, we can't do business. It was, we just had to pivot and shift. And, if there was one way we were getting leads, we might have had to turn it. Or if we lost out on like our foreclosure leads, it was just, okay, we can't focus on it. We can't dwell on us not having those leads come in. We just need to pivot and go to something else. And, I guess that's kind of how we did it, it was just, last year was a big year for growth and for automation for us, just because of everything else. It was the same thing. It was, our seller appointments. People didn't want us to come out to their house. So we would teach them how to use Zoom. We would teach them how to do Facebook videos on their phone. So they'd go on their messenger and they would turn on their camera there and we'd walk through a house with them. That's, it was just a lot of pivoting from the normal day-to-day where somebody calls in and we go out and set up the appointment, go look at their house. It was now, hey, we got to do this virtually, or hey, we got to do this a different way. So that's what 2020 was for us, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like also one of the big words was like, pivot your business, pivot this, pivot that. And what it sounds like you kind of did was more or less moving from like the face-to-face meetings of just doing everything, if you could or needed to, was doing things virtually. Is that pretty much kind of what you did?
Yeah. I mean, it was just, we were still, the core of our business was still running the same way as it did in 2019. It's just that, different parts of our business had to shift to accommodate the times,
Yeah. Yeah. So In terms of like how you set up your day, right? I think sometimes, people can have these lofty goals, and I think goals are wonderful, but goals are meant to be broken more or less, right? And so, do you have a specific way that you start your day or your week? Do you set daily goals? Do you set weekly goals? I mean, what does all of that kind of look for you? Because I think when we start out the year, we're like, okay, so this year is going to be a better year. And then, life gets in the way. And so how do you kind of hold yourself to what those goals are? And then do you and your team, I mean, I'm asking you lots of questions right now because I have them,
Yeah.
but I'll start out with that one. Like in terms of like goal setting, like how does that look for you?
Well, number one, the biggest thing for us is we always set our personal stuff first. So, like for me, I like you a lot, so I'm on at 9 o'clock in the morning. But normally we do not set any appointments before 9. I usually am not out of bed before 9. It's that's kind of my routine. Is I get up, even if I get up at 7:30. I typically am not answering my phone. I'm not doing anything until 9. Then that way, when I get ready and I get ready to come to the office, I'm not dealing with traffic because traffic's already gone. I'm not dealing with 15 million people at the gas station. So I get myself in a position where I don't create that busyness in the morning. And that to me is huge, because before, when I had all that busyness in the morning, it just set my day off, and I was either mad because there was too much traffic on the roads, or I was mad because I had to wait 15 extra minutes at the gas station. So I just got myself out of that, and that's a big thing for us. And the same thing with everybody that works with us in our office. Everybody doesn't have a set schedule. We know what we need to do. We have weekly huddles that we meet, and we say, hey, this is what we need to get done from now until our next weekly huddle. So we always have our weekly goals, and we always have that stuff set up. So as far as people that are working with us, I don't care what time you show up. I don't care what time you leave. I don't care if you're working Saturday and Sunday. I don't care if you're taking Wednesday off during the week. That doesn't make a difference. All that I care is that we reach those goals on a weekly basis. And if we don't reach those goals on a weekly basis, we have enough communication through our organization that we talk about it, so we know that goal is not going to be met right before or before our next weekly huddle. But we lay everything out, as you can see probably behind me. We do a lot of stuff. We call it the big giant sticky notes, and then we have a lot of other smaller sticky notes. And a lot of the stuff we do is at the beginning of the year, we look at what our current state is, what our ideal state is, and then what our state is for the following year. So we lay it all out. So we put on there, like, hey, we need to find more funding contacts through banks. We need to be buying at least 2 rentals a month. Our real estate brokerage side of things, they need to have, instead of 5 listings every month, they need to have 10 listings every month. So we identify that, and we start out here, and then after that, then it comes down and we start writing it out on paper. We have our team meetings, and then we figure out how we're going to achieve those things.
Okay. Now I want to kind of pedal back a little bit, because you obviously have, an established business, you have people on your team, but you obviously didn't start that way, right? And so let's say that somebody says, 2021 is my year, I'm going to start this business and I want to be successful with it. Like, what do you think would be some good first steps for somebody who's maybe just starting out and doesn't have an established business yet?
Yeah, is take the time. Just like I said, just like what we do is take the time, even though you don't know what it is. Get it, try and figure it out in your head. You know what I mean? It's or not even in your head, write it down on a piece of paper, but figure it out, because it's just not something that somebody just says, hey, I want to be in real estate, and then they don't have any action plans. You know what I mean? If somebody says, hey, I want to be in real estate and I want to buy or I want to do foreclosures, well, it's honestly reminds me a lot of your story. It's sit down and you focus on the one thing until you have that one thing mastered, and then start adding other things into place. That's honestly the only way you can do it, and it's the only way you can do it for me. And it's when I meet new people, I met somebody new yesterday for breakfast, and it was the same thing. It was just like, dude, you can't be the contractor, you can't be the realtor, you can't do this, you can't do this. If you want to be successful in this business, you need to kind of get rid of all of that other stuff and have one main focus and start mastering it. And then hang out at the RIA, hang out at the different networking groups, and then you start using other people, and you can pull other people into your business, and they can help you out and get you where you need to go. Don't be that person that's just going to go sit on an island all by themselves. You're going to start out there, but as soon as you see another island where there's other people on it, you need to swim over there and start working with them.
Awesome. So if just as a reminder, you guys, I'm talking with Jason Lund from 920 Home Buyers. We're talking about how to be successful in business in 2021. If you have any questions while we're talking right now and something comes up, please put it in the comments while we're live so that we can answer these questions live for you. All right. So I want to just kind of talk up to you, talking about goals and goal setting. Do you guys have anything set in place if you don't hit your goals? I mean, because that's the thing. I think sometimes it's like, oh, I have this goal. Oh, I didn't hit it. Yeah, I'll try for it next month. And then we're not holding ourselves accountable, more or less, right? So do you guys have any kind of accountability set up with your team of what happens if goals aren't hit?
Not really, because I mean, I don't want to say it in a bad way, but when we sit down and we say, hey, this is what we're going to do, we always usually get it. I think it's
why?
Because none of us want to say to each other, hey, I wasn't able to do this. I mean, that's the accountability, I guess, there. But it's not like we have a consequence or we have a praise or anything else. It's we always take care of each other, and it's like I said, I don't want to come and say, hey, Jen, I wasn't able to do that because of this reason.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I got to work a Sunday, which I absolutely hate, I'll work on a Sunday. You know what I mean? And I don't want to disappoint anybody on my team.
So it's more or less a whatever it takes kind of motto. You get it done, and that's what you said you were going to do, and you do it.
Yep. And we also, some people, I'm a big believer of like 10X, the book, and, a lot of other stuff that we set up is like that, but that's what we set up in like our ideal state, in our future state. Our current state right now is where we are. And then we're looking at that stuff, but, on a weekly basis, I mean, I can't say we're going to go from buying one rental a month to 2 rentals a month, just like this. It's a process. It's why, it's looking at it as, why are we only buying 1 rental a month? What's holding us back, and then breaking that down and saying, okay, well, we broke that down. So now we just now we know what we need to do to add a second rental in every single month. Is it a problem with financing? Is it a problem with finding the contractors to do the rehabs that we need to get done? We figure it out. And then once we figure it out, then we squash it, and then it becomes easy. And then it's like, okay, well, we knew what our problems were with buying 1 rental a month. Those problems are small, so can add it in for a second rental.
Yeah. So do you think that, I mean, the other thing I feel like has helped me be successful is being in either like an accountability group, at least just like a coaching group. Do you feel like coaching is something that people should really latch onto if they want to be successful in their business?
Yes, because you're always going to be surrounding yourself by, somebody that's either better than you or somebody that has a different outlook on it. It does, and sometimes it's, I actually like being in groups where there's new people, versus a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to be in this group because there's all these, big guys that are in there. I tend that, for me, that's not who I am and what I'm about. I like being with the newer people, because the newer people are coming out with the ideas that are like, they're like, hey, we're going to do this for marketing. And you're like, what? Like, I've never heard of that before. You know what I mean? And so for us is in our marketing strategies, it's so much cooler to see that stuff versus, you going to see these big guys and they're just like, hey, we're sending out, 1 million mailers every single month. And it's just like, yeah, I'm never going to do that. It's totally cool. And I'm glad you have the process to do that, but that's just not me. And that's not what my business is set up as. So that's, like I said, that's why I like being with the newer people, and they open up my eyes to see marketing in a different way than what we're doing it on a day-to-day basis. So,
okay.
But yeah, it's definitely valuable to get yourself into a coaching group or a mastermind group, because You know, if you don't have the accountability in your company, like we do, you know, you're going to get it from other people that are going to be in those groups.
It's funny talking, to you for the last 15 minutes or so. It's always sort of just been this like, this is just what we do, right? And like, I don't have to have a consequence because this is what we do. And what it sounds like to me is what that really comes down to is a mindset, right? And I know that's kind of a buzzword too, is, where's your mindset? But really, when it comes down to it, I mean, there is no, we're not going to achieve this. It's like, this is the goal we set. This is what we're going to do. And that's how we're going to get there. And so, how do you feel like mindset comes into play?
Well, first of all, that's why we do it on a weekly basis, and we have our weekly huddle. So it's not these big crazy goals that are out there. It's just, hey, we have these rentals, we have vacancies. What do we have to do from now until next week to get that stuff taken care of? We write that stuff down, and then each team member takes that part and runs with it. So.
What motivates you guys? I mean, what keeps you?
What motivates us?
Yeah.
Honestly, the biggest thing is helping other people. And that's the same thing with our business. When our business became really successful was when we stopped focusing on the money and we started focusing on how to help people. But honestly, the phone calls that we get that come in, the people that we get to go meet, just to hear their life stories and what they're all about, and to be able to be part of their life and get them from where they are now to the next chapter is truly amazing. I mean, as far as motivation, that's what it is. It's the money and stuff is there, but that's not our focus. We don't set money goals. We set goals on how many people we can impact, and that's how we run our business.
I think that's a really key piece of advice, right? When you chase the money, it doesn't follow you. But when you chase for, something else for a better reason or a higher reason versus yourself, right? That's kind of when things start to turn around. And you clearly said that. You're like, when we stopped chasing the money, the business grew. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, also a change in mindset, don't you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. And the same thing is like last year, a lot of our main lead sources that came in were referrals. We paid out, I don't even know how many thousands of dollars in referrals. But I mean, it was insane. It was just past clients and other people that just saw us, and it was crazy. I mean, to look at it and say, hey, we have one lead that came in from our direct mail marketing this month, but we had 5 leads that came in from our referral sources. That part is insane. And they're not even people that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's either somebody, like I said, that we helped before, somebody that saw us on Facebook, or somebody saw us through our marketing. So it was it's crazy.
Well, and I think that just speaks a testament to how you've been able to help people, that they're willing to refer like friends and family back to you. And I think that's kind of the ultimate goal is, there's only so much that our marketing can do for us, but we have to obviously have a presence in our community and know that we're here to truly help people, and that like I said, people are willing to send their friends and family to you. And that's something that's happened for us too. I mean, we've had a ton of referrals come to us as well. And even people that I didn't even know, and they're like, I saw you or whatever it was, and I told my friend to call you because I know that you'd be able to help them. And that's, I think that's one of the best feelings to know, is that your presence has been able to help somebody out of a terrible situation that they didn't really know what to do, on the onset of it. And you're there to provide a solution.
Yep, exactly. Big thing too is that, for what really helped us with that is we've made it a goal to try and help at least one charity a month, as either a business and personal. So it puts us out in the community, and it puts us in a position where we're talking to other people that are there. So that helps out a lot as far as, for us getting the referrals. So
awesome. Well, believe it or not, we're kind of coming up to the end of our time. That went by very quickly. Yeah. What would you say would be, your biggest, maybe if it's like a golden nugget or a couple different things of advice when it comes to someone who maybe had a tough 2020 and is really looking to turn around things in 2021?
The biggest thing is that it's in the past now. All you got to do is keep focusing forward. Focus forward, learn from your mistakes, and don't dwell on what happened in the past, because if you're dwelling on what happened in 2020, your 2021 is going to suck. That's all I can say. I mean, it's, you know, keep focusing forward. Every day is a new day.
There it is. Don't let 2021 suck. Last words by Jason Lund, right?
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's true. And I think I want to thank you for that. I think you really gave some really good pieces of advice and thoughts and just where you're coming from. I mean, I think you sound like you have fun every day. I think that, like I said, your positive mindset and the way that you approach things, I think is really positive for people to latch onto. And I think that's also why, you and I have kept in contact. I think we see things very similarly. And
Yep.
that's why I wanted to bring you on, is because I don't think that we can let, the I guess downtrodden times of 2020 affect us, because we all have to keep moving forward. We all have to create a plan or something, because we're running our own businesses. And if that's something that you want to do, right, not you, but anybody who's watching, if that's something that you want to do, you have to set that plan in place. You have to get the right mindset, get into an accountability, team or a coach, and move forward, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Thank you, Jason. This was pretty
Yeah, you're
amazing
welcome.
to have you on. I really appreciate it. I know this is something that you've also wanted to do, is reach out to folks and see how you can help. I think you've definitely, in the last 20 minutes or so, given some people some really good pieces of advice. If you guys have questions or want to contact Jason or contact me, whatever it is, please put it in the comments. Jason's been tagged on this. You can always contact him directly through Facebook or through 920 Homebuyers. Likewise with me too. Katie's going to be putting our information to be able to get a hold of us here. Also, if you're interested in having me interview you as an expert on our Facebook page, there's going to be a link in there that you can go and contact us that way. I appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you for watching. Likewise, like I said, if you weren't able to watch this live, put more questions in the comments. And like I said, Jason can get back to you, or I can get back to you. We'll move forward. Next week, we're going to be talking about the housing market again and some updates of what's happening in terms of foreclosures and forbearances and moratoriums. We'll give you an update on all that information. And then we'll see you guys next week. Again, Jason, thanks so much for joining us. Everybody have a great, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time.
All right, see you later.
Bye.